Studioloo. It's Cindy, and today I'm here with something new that I've been working on for quite some time. I'm going to be releasing these kind of one by one as sort of a specialized, like hand curated, put together box. So what this is this one is a sewing bee stitch box, and I've created everything or curated it together to make this nice little box for stitching, embroidery, sewing, and a few other needle arts. So I'll show you the box. So it starts out, this is a heavy cardboard box that's been painted and decoupaged with this lovely floral bee pattern on top of like a light aqua teal, and I've placed a wax seal stamp on top with the studio logo, and I've got this nice bee washi tape just kind of going over all the edges of the box. There are eyelets in the closure, and it's tied up with a silk ribbon with some little iridescent floral beads on it. So the same on all sides, and we will go ahead and open it on up. I'm going to be creating these. Each one will be different. Each one will have different things inside. So when you open it up here, this is what you see. So let's get started taking things out. So the first thing is, this is a little needle book that I hand sewed and completely made. So it closes with this black ribbon, and this is a little adorable felt bee who is stitched on the front. So both of the outer sides are this floral, and it's been stitched with leaves on the ribbon. So when you open it up, there's interfacing between these two fabrics, so it's a little sturdy and firm. So this is a red polka dot fabric on the inside. And then the pages inside are made from a beautiful embroidered vintage cotton. And I've done a double layer of felt that's been pinked, and I have stitched them on and added a vintage dress needle. And this is a handmade needle that has this lovely little, these flower buttons, flowers that have been stitched on top. So they are like flower head pins. And then there's also some like empty space where you can attach things like safety pins. You could stitch buttons on there. Something that has been historically done since Victorian times with women who, or Edwardian times, most popular with stitch books, sewing books, is that at the time, ladies would sew buttons into their stitch books that would match their garments just with a couple of whip stitches, so that if they ever lost a button, because as you know, corsets and things like that back then, they had several buttons on them, all the same, typically tiny black velvet buttons. They would stitch a few into their little sewing books that they would carry in their purses in case they were to lose a button. So you could do something like that, or just sew in some fun buttons if you do stitching projects and you need buttons. Then on the inside of these two pages, more embroidery, two more of those vintage dressmaker's needles, and two green floral head pins. They have the long flat head in between the petals of the flower. Then I've stitched just some decorative trim here to be like a little pocket. There's a little pocket here, here, here that you could slip things into, and then I just put this little patchwork bee inside there that you could attach to a project. I've added 3 safety pins. Let's get this little bit of thready out here. And then here you see, this is the back of the other side where the needles are. I had the option to hide this with something, but I actually just really like how these look. They're also padded on this side as well. So as you see here, I've used them to be like another pin cushion on this side. So you could, again, stitch in all of this plain space, add things there, add more needles. Then here you see the back side of those safety pins, more embroidery. I'll just bring this up a little closer so you can see how beautiful that embroidery is. And then we have this yellow felt needle holder pad, and then again another of those covers. So that just ties right up into a little bow. And so we'll set this aside. Then the next thing is a handmade pin cushion that I created with this fun ruffled corduroy. It is stuffed. It has 4 dressmaker's pins in it that are quite large, so they pop down in there, so you can use this as your pin cushion. And I thought it kind of reminded me of a beehive, just a fun, quirky little beehive. Then next thing is this little thread keep. So this is a little wooden thread keep, and it has been threaded with the rainbow of colors. So that's just some embroidery floss there, and it's cotton DMC floss. And then I've included on handmade cards 2 of my own handmade ceramic buttons. These are large buttons. They would be very suitable for embellishing on a hat, on a cowl, on like a knit garment, like something that needs a big button. And then I've included this handmade card that has these 3 printed buttons. They are wood and they've been laser printed with these beautiful colors. And then we have, this is a wooden keep for floss. You would wrap around it, so it's like a bobbin, a floss bobbin, and it says handmade for you and has this little etched flower in the wood. And then I sewed this myself. This is a scissors keep and a scissors fob, which is also a little pin cushion. I've embroidered some little pink cross stitches there, and I've attached this little bee. This is a vintage piece of doily lace crocheted with this little vintage button, and this is embroidery floss that's been beaded with some really lovely speckly beads and these little floral iridescent beads. So this little button just pops through the hole of the embroidery, which is stitched on the back as well. And inside are these scissors, and they are tabbed at the end with a rubber keep so that they don't poke anyone during, when you're opening it, but you don't have to keep them on. This has a very thick bottom that I purposely doubled so that when the end of the scissors go in there, it's not going to poke through. So yeah, these are the scissors that are included. They are very sharp and they're very nice handled. You can fit all of your fingers in there, so they will work for any size of hand, including typically larger men's hands. So that just pops right in there. And then on this little ribbon, this is just a little thimble for your finger. So if, like me, you're doing a lot of stitching right now and you don't want to poke your finger, this is adjustable. This brass is adjustable, so you don't have to worry about your finger size. You'll be able to bend it a little if you need to. Then there are 4 handmade cards here. 3, they all have bees or beehives on them. One has this vintage tea-dyed lace. These 3 are 3 shades of kind of golden bee reminiscent embroidery floss. It is all cotton floss that has been hand dyed. And then we have a little measuring tape. And then also 2 fat quarters, both bee themed. This one is yellow with the hive print, and this one is also yellow with little bees. And they are both cotton. And then this little measure clip. This is a Chadwick measure clip or hemmer. It's to hold your hem in place, so you can clip it over your hem like that while you're at your sewing machine, and you can adjust it as you go. And that is everything inside this little sewing box. So you could add things to it. You could keep it by, that special chair that you like to sit in when you're stitching, or by your bedside. You could take it along with you on a vacation and have a little bit of everything to just kind of work on. Yeah, I think these are going to be really fun. I'm going to be doing several different ones in different themes, just kind of slowly as time moves on. I can't really promise like a production schedule with these because, as you can see, they do contain a lot of handmade items. So they are quite time consuming to make, but also extremely fun. So if you are seeing this video and you are interested in this sewing box, it is going to be in my Etsy shop by the time this video airs. And thank you so very much for joining me for this little sewing box walkthrough. Have a lovely day. All of my social information is down below in the description box. Don't forget to subscribe. Thanks, everyone.